Alrighty, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup. I hope everybody's having a great trading session. A little bit of volatility today. I was just looking at the dollar Mexican peso, which is down at channel support. So actually, let me talk about this for a second. Let me get adjusted. So, the ongoing discussion is, will a stimulus package be passed? Yes or no in the coming days. And there's obviously there's still the idea out there that a stimulus package could be passed. Now, Mitch McConnell, he just rejected the higher amount of stimulus. The higher amount says a $500 billion bill is appropriate response. I don't know if that's continued jockeying, but the problem is you're running out of time. So I'm going to give you because I'm sick of trying to figure out, are we going to get stimulus or are we not going to get stimulus? I'm just sick of just trying to, figure it out. And I think what we have to do is just wait for the, yes or no, and then wait for the appropriate response. Right? That's it. I mean, just, we as traders respond to yes or no. The market, I think, still assumes there's going to be a deal. If there is a deal, if you add, let's just say roughly $2 trillion to the economy, that should be the catalyst enough to drive stocks to new highs. It should be. All right. So you guys should know what to do in that response. Stimulus bill gets passed, market rallies, you sell dollars. I think the best trade, if you ask me, is going to be short the dollar Canadian, which is, it actually surpassed a little further than I thought it was going to go today. But we did come back to, the basically the neckline of the previous inverted head and shoulder pattern. So, let me get rid of this really quick. Okay. So you can see the 50% retracement held. I thought the 38% retracement was going to hold, but it looks like the 50% is holding. Now, I would think that if a stimulus package got passed, you want to be selling US dollar Canadian, buying Canadian dollars. Okay. If a deal gets passed, you want to be buying New Zealand dollars, buying Australian dollars. Now, I know you're looking at them right at this moment saying, wow, that's, why would I do that? I mean, look, they're under pressure. But the Australian dollar is under pressure because the RBA last night said, we could bring rates down to 0.01% or 0.1%, excuse me, which is basically where the US is at. Fantastic. Now we know. The RBNZ talked about bringing rates negative. Great. We know. So because we know, there's no fear, right? So we can actually buy Kiwi dollars. We can buy Canadian dollars. We can buy Australian dollars in that situation. Now, let's say, and then, you can also trade the dollar Mexican peso on the long side. I mean, this thing's actually acted pretty horribly today. I'm not saying that that's the right trade, but it definitely is not acting well. So hold on really quick. Just do this really fast. Now let's say there's no deal. What do you do? Well, then you just have to do the opposite. Sell Aussie dollars. We do come crashing through the 70 cent level. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. If we break 70 cents, this is where it gets really bearish. Near term, we could see the 200-day moving average like really fast, which is, 70 cents to 68 cents. That could happen, right? Kiwi, head and shoulder pattern. you know what? Let me redraw this with you guys here for a second. Let's kill a lot of this stuff. Let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that. Just kind of all this jazz that's been here for a long time. Isn't it cool when you guys get to sit here and, you know, we get to remove all this stuff together? It's like pulling off a scab together. Like we're ripping off a scab together. Like, look, oh, it's a scab, but we get to rip it off. Right? Isn't that great? It's awesome. Okay, so anyway, and let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of. We'll keep that. So the kiwi, as if you guys missed it a little earlier, would look something like this. If it did break down. Again, this is no deal. No deal. We sell Kiwis. We sell Aussies. We buy the dollar Canadian because, man, the thing's actually acting really well today, right? So when there's a no deal, that's what you do. Your next question would be, well, what do we do with the euro? I have no clue. I really don't. I mean, I would think no deal, you buy the dollar. Yeah, the euro might slip a little bit, but I think you're going to get better bang for your buck trading the commodity currencies. Any which way you go about it. The cable, I really don't know what to do either, because you know we're actually dealing with Brexit. So for the pound, and by the way, the news was just a little while ago that the European Union is going to continue to talk with the, hold on.
Done.
I just sold some euro. I bought the euro Mexican peso. I just sold it for a couple hundred pips. Most of you guys don't get an opportunity to trade that, so but I can. So I did. You know, it was when the euro Mex just hit new lows here. I'll just show you what I did really fast. Where is it? It's near my peso. It's right there. So when we hit new lows here, I picked it up and I just sold it here at 99. I bought it at like 96, 90. I bought it at, so I'll tell you where I bought it. I bought it at 96, and then I just sold it at 99. So basically bought it here, sold it here. Just kind of played it. It pays really well, even on small positions. It's just, you know, it's pretty volatile. But you guys, this is my chart of the day yesterday, and you guys should know why I'm buying it as we approach this support. And then obviously if we go below that support, I'm out. So, but going back to what I was saying regarding the cable, since the European Union is extending by several weeks, the talks with the UK, my assumption is that we are going to continue to see the talks continue, but that's positive for the cable. So for me, the way I look at it is I'm going to short euro pound on rallies. You know what I mean? Hey, Jason, you asked me a question a little bit earlier today, and I was going to answer it, but I ran out of time. Do you remember what that question was? If you can remember, it was something, and I was going to address it, and then it just got kind of busy. Okay, but anyway, so I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to sell euro sterling on rallies to 91 cents. I'm still trading it like there's a deal that's going to get done. So I'm going to sell rallies up here, and I'm hoping we can get up there, and then just keep in a fairly tight stop. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be no. Jason asked if Paulie was going to take over the Daily Roundup. No, he was so gracious to help me yesterday because I was on a call with a couple of guys, and Dubai, so it was late at night for them. It was, it was just happened to be this the only time we could talk. Alexander said, good evening, Blake. Good evening. Tony said, with the dollar Canadian short that you just mentioned, is it valid enough for a pip, do you think? No. Well, remember, a pip to me is I have to there has to be some sort of technical reason behind me taking that trade, right? Like something that I can quantify with good risk reward. So when I do trades, like just doing trades, like let's say a news comes out, it depends. I mean, if the dollar Canadian broke through these lows and I said, I could go into the patterns in play and put in support break, but I have to see it. There has to be something validating me making that as a pip. But that's why in the chat room, I'm, in and out of stuff all the time. And, like I bought the Aussie New Zealand. Here's a good example. I bought the Aussie New Zealand earlier this morning at 107.24 and I sold it at 49.51. Sorry, I sold it up here. We're at 49. I sold it just a little higher than where we're at. And I bought it because it was a false breakdown. I mean, I told everybody in the chat room that's what I was doing, but I don't have that false breakdown as a pattern in play, if that makes sense. Amira said natural gas in the hourly chart looks like a cup and handle if it closed in $2.9 starting from 25th September. I don't follow nat gas, but let's take a look. Hourly cup and handle. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're looking at this, right? Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, like this. Not something I trade, but possibly. Joe says, how is no deal different than what we have now? It isn't, but the market is the market is extremely long based on getting a deal done, right? Gavin says no deal by Euro Aussie. I don't disagree with that. He said no stimulus. I mean, buy Euro Aussie. I do not disagree with that at all. I think that's probably one of the better bang for your buck trades you're going to get. Yeah, you can short Aussie dollar, and if you want to just get the dollar out of the equation completely, Gavin, buy Euro Aussie, probably it. And I am so irritated with myself from earlier this week. I had bought the Euro Aussie. I had bought it earlier this week right here, but not a very big position. It was like a third size, and I was hoping that we'd dip a little bit I had some bids out at 163.25 down here. I was hoping we'd dip a little further just to get long some more, and then it started to rally, and I'm like, because it was on my board, I just said, I'll just take it off. It didn't make anything. Well, I mean, I made something, but not anything significant. And man, I'm so irritated I didn't get what I wanted out of that. But anyway, I do think that the Euro Aussie is one that would be a great long, especially if we get through this 200-day moving average. I mean, just think about what this can do. I mean, you're talking 166 to 169 pretty easily. Jason says, hey Blake, what does your institutional broker allow you to trade, CFDs, or to use futures if you decide to trade the S&P or NASDAQ? Futures. Yeah, like JP Morgan here, and I'll just show you really quick. This is JP Morgan, right? That's what it looks like. We have to trade futures through a different broker, but JP Morgan's where I trade currencies through. And I mean, when you look at my spreads, I mean, like you take I mean, look, I mean, the euro is basically even, right? I still have to pay a commission, but it doesn't, you know, my spreads are like thin, really, really thin. Okay. Anyway. All right, guys. For those of you guys that are ForexAnalytix subscribers, make sure you sign up for Pepperstone. See if you can get a few months free of ForexAnalytix. If you're, you know, outside the U.S. or Canada. If you're in the U.S. or Canada, you know, you're gonna have to try to get a cashback rebate from Forest Park FX. And I want to thank you guys for listening in today. Appreciate it. I'll see you, and I appreciate all your support. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I won't be on we don't have the roundup tomorrow. So have a great one. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.